let me start by going back and laying down the intent of our founding fathers and the intent of the Constitution. Our founding fathers came out of tyranny, and they were really concerned that this land be a land of freedom. So they did several things. One of the first things they did when they laid out the Constitution was they divided the powers into three branches, and we all know what those are: the executive, the legislative, and the judicial. So we have three branches of power. So they separated those.
All right, so we're going to repeat what the three branches of government are so that they know too. Okay, so our first one is the legislative. What do you say?
Legislative.
Good job. And then the next one is the executive.
Executive.
Good job. And the last one is the judicial.
Judicial. I am a judicial.
Are you judicial? We'll work on that later. Okay.
And the other thing they did to keep from having a centralization of power into a central government, which increases or decreases the freedom of the individual, is that they limited the amount of land mass that this central power could control, called the federal government. Because if you can control the land, you can control the food production, you can control the people. And so our founding fathers knew that that was a potential of combining great power under one head. So they limited by the letter of the law what land that the federal government could control. And it's found in Article 1, Section 8, Clause 17. Let me read it to you. I've shared this before, but let me read it to you again. It says, referring to the federal government, it says, to exercise exclusive legislation in all cases whatsoever in such districts not to exceed 10 square miles as may by secession of a particular state and the acceptance of Congress. What is that 10 square miles? Well, that's Washington, D.C. Washington, D.C., the seat of the federal government. That's proper and that's appropriate. They go on. It says, to become the seat of the government of the United States and to exercise like authority over all places purchased by the consent of the legislature of the state in which the same shall be for the erections of forts, magazines, arsenals, dockyards, and other such needful buildings. Okay, they limit the federal government to purchase only those lands needful for the defense of our country: docks, arsenals, forts, and other such needful buildings. And not only that, they can't take it by eminent domain. They must ask the state legislatures if they can purchase it from them. So in this very clause here, by that very sentence there, it acknowledges that the states are the owners of the land.